Hello, everybody. It's Kat, and welcome to the Mediumship Podcast. Thank you guys for being part of the channel, Instagram, and so on and so forth. So, a little bit of background. I'm a naturally inherited gifted medium. I've been communicating with spirit since childhood, and I've been involved in the spiritual realms ever since, always drawn to the metaphysical and crystals, oracle, divination of all kinds. You name it, I've been involved in it. And I absolutely love being able to help others upon their path. It is a gift that I've been given. I can see, hear, and feel spirit, and have done so all of my life. It's very normal to me. And now I'm on this new path, which I've been able to help people for the last 15 years get closure on their path, move forward, gain clarity, and give them some kind of insight. And now I am involved with a podcast that I wanted to create. To be able to give you guys more of an insight to what it is that I do, what I'm involved in, what I know about, and share the spiritual collective energy and help others upon their path. And I do that through tarot and oracle and private readings and meditation sessions, and also mediation and also mediumship kind of consultations as well. And one of the biggest things that I find very, very, very important is validation. And I love to be able to give that to my client base, and I love to be able to give that to my audience in whatever situation that they're going through. If it's a private reading and so on, validation is huge for me. So I always get asked that question as well, guys, about, how do you tell a fake medium to someone who really knows what they're doing? And realistically, just going based on the knowledge and of the experience that I've had is you do need to do your homework. And one of the biggest things that I know to do is I will say nothing to the medium when I go in there. So I'm very, very big on saying nothing, because they're supposed to relay to me what I'm supposed to do. But there's also a very strict code that spirit can only tell you certain details of what needs to be relayed at this time, and you'll only receive the messages that spirit allows for you at this time. So if you are out and about looking at seeing a medium or a psychic, validation is huge. Validation is where they are able to hold a conversation with the other person and, give you back proper details, real details, might I add, not just trying to pick a name out of a letter, which a lot of people have done. So it's being authentic. And with myself, I be as authentic as I possibly can be. And I always work with validation and invalidation, because you do need to be very, very careful when dealing with people's lives and people's closure. And, it's very personal thing. A personal reading is very, very personal, and it is for that person to deal with grief. It is for that person to move forward and move on with their life. And it also is to give them the clarity and insight, the missing link, if you will. So I take my role of the gifts that I've been given very seriously, and I stay in my lane. I do what I can do, and I don't get involved in what others may do. If they are doing other things, that's wonderful, but I stay in my lane, and I do what I do best. And I'm here, guys, to give you the best of me. So I'm so glad you're here, guys. So what I wanted to give you that little bit of information, because I do get asked that a lot. I get emailed a lot and messages a lot saying, how do I know they're a real psychic? So that's something that you can do, is go in there, say nothing, and let them talk back to you. Okay? It might just give you a little bit of an insight. So today, guys, without further ado, we're going to be talking about twin flames, life partners, soulmates, all of those kind of things that people are now presenting as the norm. So we do have this, you've heard of this concept of soulmates and, life partners and twin flames, I'm sure. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. It's out there. You may have also missed, though, the whole concept of what it actually means between the fantasy side of it and the actual reality of it. And what I mean by that is that when we talk to energy healers, psychic mediums, others who are in the spiritual world, who connect with spirit on a daily, they may have a different conflicting idea to what a twin flame is compared to what you might think it is. So I'm here to give you a little bit of an insight to the knowledge that I know about twin flames. And this is a relationship which will face a lot of hardships. A twin flame is basically yourself mirrored by another person. So you are the exact opposite of each other as far as possibly, obviously the yin and the yang. But you also are two of the same person split into two, okay? So as we embark on this journey here, and we are on the learning realm here, we are basically, everybody has a twin flame, which is the other half of your soul, if you wish, if you will, okay? And they represent within you the happiness and the growth. They can be like a missing link, someone that you are drawn to, someone that is very, very similar to you, and very, 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 very well connected with. You just really connect. And the twin flame is the other half of your soul, so to speak. Okay, so in theory, it's basically that your soul can be split into two ascending high frequency kind of energies. And then these souls that are brought here are actually can land in two different bodies. And then the search is on, okay? Pretty much. Putting it in that kind of as normal terms as I can, as basic terms as I can. So when we put the twin flame against the soulmate, for example, this is a very important thing to note, really, because soulmates can be anyone, and they are someone who is made of the same kind of energy as you, similar, but they didn't exist in the fusion of you. And I know I'm getting very spiritually high up here for those of you who are not quite up in the high vibe or are just new to this kind of awakening or spirituality. It can be a little bit confusing to grasp. So I'm trying to keep it as grounding and as universal as I can. So when we talk about a soulmate, this is someone that you may have this a very high significance to. You may be very well connected to this person. But when you encounter a twin flame relationship, this is a completely other level of entirety. Okay, this is taking you to a place of where you cannot be without that person. You are very, very connected, very, very connected energetically. And so you actually, might think that you know everything about this person in a soulmate and so on and so forth, but most of the time soulmates are there to teach us something. So they teach us lessons, whereas a twin flame is also there for you to learn something about your life journey, but this meeting is fated in some way, okay? So for some of you, if you do have a twin flame, you will actually be fated to meet. And it won't be in the normal way that you would meet, okay? It'll be completely when you're not expecting it. And so both of you will definitely be pulled together like magnets. You won't understand why you need to see this person, be around this person or whatever, but you will just be completely drawn. It's like an addiction. You have to have it. You have to be around this person. And it is really intense. It's a very intense connection because it is very magnetic energy-wise. And many people who have been in a twin flame situation describe this feeling as an uncanny connection. They've never connected to anyone in this way before, and they have this inner knowing of this person, and they know that they have a sense of wholeness, oneness when they're with this person. Nothing else has compared or compares to this person, and they are very, very deeply connected to this person as well. So there can also be a potential for a lot of conflict here because they're very similar beings. And but it is possible for people to have a very healthy and wonderful divine connection as well in the twin flame situation. So I'll give you some of what we call twin flame things to look out for, or things that you may have experienced or thinking that you're in a twin flame situation. So it's that intuitive knowing. It's that already the knowing that the person is what they're doing, what they're thinking, what they're feeling. You may feel that you are feeling the same things. You have a kind of the symptoms of feeling what they feel. Some of you may also have a lot of interests exactly the same. You do a lot of things, a lot of hobbies, a lot of way that you are, value systems, those sorts of things. Some of you may have emotions and thoughts and things happen at the same time. So you may be feeling that you are feeling what the other person is feeling at the same time or during the same day. It can be quite different for different people. Feeling also that, as I said, that magnetic, strong physical pull, needing to be close to them, needing to touch them, needing to be near them, needing to hear them, and not be disconnected from them. And this can either be in a platonic setting or a romantic sense, but when we talk about twin flames in a romantic sense, we're talking about two people that is like their yin and their yang. They love being together. They cannot be separated. They don't like separation, and so on and so forth. The understanding the other parts of the hidden parts of each other as well. So you guys have a very deep understanding of this other person, and also you can struggle sometimes with their vulnerability, or you can actually struggle with a bit of weakness that they may have as well. You can't understand why they present with a few difficulties that may, come up at this time. And you also may be feeling very safe, very, very good around them, and you feel that you can be your true self where this person's around you. So there are 7 stages to the twin flame connection, and it all begins in stage 1 with the search, which involves that very strong sense of yearning and the accurate awareness of knowing that they're coming, knowing that you have something lacking in your life as well, and that you've never really thought about this concept before, but you know that there's been something missing. Stage 2 is the awakening that a lot of people will have, the discussion of soulmates. I want to find my soulmate. I want to, I feel like I need to be around this person, but I haven't met them yet, or I've got a feeling I'm going to be meeting this person. You will know when you encounter your twin flame, because in the second stage of awakening that happens here, it's when you physically meet. And this can be, like I said, a by chance meeting, a very not normal meeting that you would meet someone. It can be brief, but it's enough contact there to make you want to have a second meeting. Stage 3 is what we call the test, of where we have a stage of the twin flames experiencing and trying to understand their relationship together, setting those boundaries, establishing the boundaries there as well. And even though in a twin flame situation you are actually destined to be together and love each other, there's still a little bit of conflict that can take place in the same way that you may be feeling conflict about yourself in other ways. So twin flames can go through a lot emotionally. They can go through a lot of relationship hurdles, but they always need and stay stuck together. Stage 4 is what we call the crisis area, or the area of where you just are very, very euphoric at this time, of where you are really wanting to see things that are unpleasant in the other person, but accepting it anyway. There's I understand that you're this way, but I cannot be without you. There's also the compatibility of the twin flames in this stage as well, which can often bring a point of separation. It can bring a point of, being apart, because the pressure and the emotions and all of those other things can be quite hard to deal with sometimes. A bit of a struggle for one of you, or the other person may have to go through some self-love kind of stuff, or you may need to grow together and kind of work out how we go as a union now instead of separate people. Stage 5 is what we call the tracing stage, of where no matter what, it doesn't matter, you are just needing to be in your role with this person. This is your person. It can also take a little while for this stage to come about, and trying to stop the push pull with twin flames that will push each other away, bring them back, push each other. So this person is, I want you, I don't, I want you, I don't, but that magnetic field never goes away, and you always seem to come back together for whatever reason. Then stage 6 is recognizing that we need to surrender. And this is your soul surrendering to what you can no longer control of this relationship. It's up, it's down, it's turbulent. It's shown me the best of them. It's shown me the worst of them, yet we're still together. So this is progress. This is the progress stage. This is where you're working on the issues that led to the crisis. If you've separated, some twin flames will actually separate physically to rebuild something in their lives or grow up a little bit or whatever it is, and then be brought back together after that spiritual growth, after those lessons, after those awakenings that have happened. And of course, stage 7 is the reunion and the joining and the rejoining of these two souls, of where they, have gone through the challenges, have gone through the heartache, the breakups, the shake-ups and all of that stuff, and molded back into perfect form of understanding and being in pure alignment. So with some twin flames, this reunion will be physical in nature, and it will also be that you've learned a lot about yourself, as well as detaching from other things and being now attached to the unique kind of love that you've found in each other. So there's a real appreciation. There's a real deep connection there that is not going to be severed. And also, this is also a time of reunion that takes place and carries a sense of peace and acceptance for the other person, their flaws, and it's like you love that whole being. So you are attracted to and grounded in and happy with and content within yourself and within that union. So that's my little spiel here on twin flames, guys, and thank you for hanging out in the podcast. If you would like to learn more, listen in more, be part of it, definitely do tune in at my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram as well and connect, guys. I would love to hear from you, and I thank you so very much for your time today and being part of this podcast. I look forward to our podcasts up and coming with more information on different topics, and you can always check out my YouTube channel for your general readings. And if you'd like to connect, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening, guys, and I will see you soon.